Hello and welcome. So, you are already preparing for your IELTS listening test. You are already listening to different variations of English with podcasts, radio, music, and perhaps movies and TV series. And you are wondering what else you can do to improve your listening skills for IELTS. So, this video will provide information on 5 mistakes that students commonly make in the IELTS test, and of course, tips for how to fix these 5 mistakes. The first mistake that students make, and I see this a lot in IELTS exams, is that they simply do not read the questions. They regard the exam as a kind of race against time, and they glance at the question, they skim over it, and then they just rush to try to answer the question. Take your time, take a minute or two to make sure that you understand what is asked. The tip is keep in mind that this is not a race. You are under time pressure, but you are not in a race. Spend a minute or two to understand the question well, and you will absolutely improve your IELTS listening ability. The second mistake that students make in answering the questions, and I suspect this also links to their uh, urge to rush through the exam, is that they forget about spelling and grammar. Now, English has building blocks, and the building blocks are words that are spelled correctly and grammar that is used correctly. These building blocks are of vital importance, and you will lose marks in your IELTS listening test if you do not pay attention to spelling and grammar in answering the listening test. The building blocks are fundamental to the language, and they are fundamental to earning marks in your IELTS test. It's almost like the game of Jenga. If you pull out the important building blocks, the whole thing collapses. Third mistake that people make is they think they can multitask. They multitasking, doing several things at the same time. This is a myth. Do not read and write and listen at the same time. Do it one step or one activity at a time. Focus on the task at hand. This will better enable you to understand the question. This will enable you to formulate a better answer to the question. Again, it's a question of taking a deep breath and just taking it not necessarily slowly, but steadily. Don't rush. Don't try to rush through to the end by doing several things at the same time. You will lose your marks. You will lose your winning position. Beware of red herrings. A red herring is a fact or a sentence or a clue that people provide to take you off track, to mislead you. So sometimes in the listening tests, the examiner put misleading or incorrect information to mislead you. So it is really important getting back again to the basic advice of focusing. Be aware that the examiner may try to trick you to really see how well you understand English. So concentrate and be aware of what you are doing. Finally, the biggest mistake that students make is that they never practice. Language and the ability to understand and speak and write and read a language is absolutely daily practice. Plan for your IELTS exam, prepare for your IELTS exam, and practice, 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 practice at every opportunity you get. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. And this was said by Alexander Graham Bell, who was the inventor of the telephone. If you find these videos to be useful or interesting, please subscribe. I really do value your subscription to my channel. And finally, to summarize the 5 things that we need to keep in mind when preparing for the IELTS listening test. Read the questions very carefully. Spelling and grammar can sink you, so pay attention to your vocabulary and your grammar. Do not multitask. Focus at all times, concentrate, and prepare, prepare, prepare. Success is the sum of small efforts which are repeated day in and day out. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I wish you have a lovely day and see you again soon. Thank you and bye-bye.